Hayden, and we want to welcome you back to another episode of Double Take, where we talk about everyday topics from a mental health standpoint, also from a Gen Z and a millennial perspective. This episode is going to focus on the pressures of career choices, the anxieties about our futures, and really redefining what success actually looks like. We are going to break this conversation down into 3 segments. The first segment, we are going to talk about choosing a career in a world of pressure. Our second segment is going to focus on what if I choose wrong? And then lastly, we are going to talk about redefining what success actually looks like. I really want to start off by talking about what it's like choosing a career in a world that's full of pressure. I would like to start off by kind of discussing choosing a career that doesn't really feel like it's a decision that defines your life. I think that's something that a lot of people are afraid of, especially fresh out of high school, going to school. What do I choose? What makes sense for me? I know what I like to do, but how does this translate into picking a major or picking an area of study? Also, when it comes to picking the right career, I think we had some conversation about when you're fresh out of high school, it's kind of like you're either pressured by family, they're kind of wanting you to go down a certain path. Maybe they have historically all been police officers, so they're looking for you to be a police officer, lawyer, doctor. I know depending on the culture, a lot of people who may be from another country really send their children here to just be doctors, lawyers, like those top tier positions, so that they can be very, very successful. And I think also you have a lot of kids who come from families that haven't been to college or successfully completed college, and they want to be the first to break that barrier. So I think there's so many different aspects that we can attack, but I want to talk about choosing the right career. So for you, you are 18, fresh out of high school. What is it like kind of trying to decide what to do now? Like, is there a career that you always knew you kind of wanted to pursue? What does it look like for you now in regard to choosing what it is that you want to do?
I feel like in this moment right now, I feel like looking ahead in so many years, you are so anxious about all of the different possibilities. But when I was younger, early on, I realized that I really enjoyed working with animals and just being around animals. And that's, little Hayden, I would love doing that. And so I thought about it, and I was thinking about it more. And then when I got to around middle school, I was thinking, okay, what can I do to get into a field that is surrounded by animals? And so then I thought more into it, and then I thought about the connection that I would have with the animals. If that is my job and I am there all the time, I feel like I would get too connected, and then the emotions would take over, and I would not be a great fit for that job. And I would not want an animal to be put in my, I would want to help just because I feel like I would be too emotional. That I just don't feel like I'd be the right person for that. But then I think more towards the end of high school, I still feel like I want to, for my job, I want to make a difference, and I want to make sure that I'm helping people and make sure that it's a prominent thing in my life. So I came up with real estate and thinking about, if you're moving, if you are buying whatever it is, I want to be there for that memorable moment for people to be like, yes, like she helped us buy our house and now we are, you know what I mean? Kind of just like, it's a big moment, I think, for a lot of people, and I kind of want to be a part of that, just because you can help them financially and, physically too with their house and stuff like that. So I think I kind of try to turn it into, if I don't want to help animals, but I still want to help, I can help people in that way. And that is a big moment in your life, and I feel like that's really important, just to make sure that people are secure with their house and their housing and where they want to be. So that was kind of my thing.
So it sounds like the like working with the animals is something that is something you would do for free. It's like your love that you would want to do, whereas the real estate is like, okay, I have to get, serious, like put my big girl panties, like this is what I really want to do, in terms of like just having a good career, stability, things like that.
Right, because I feel like with the real estate, like I was looking at, obviously, when I'm older and making a living for myself and my family and wanting to provide. And especially with the world that we are living in right now, I feel like that also has been influencing different career paths that people want to go down. Because now you are thinking, okay, if this is where we are at right now, where will we be in 20 years? Even 5 years, if we're, getting realistic, you know what I mean? So again, with this stable job versus a passion, a strong passion that you have, how do you make that work? And how do you make a living out of something that you really truly do love doing? And then you having to make that sacrifice of like, okay, I might have to go into a harder field that maybe I might not as enjoy as much, but will it make me a living? Will it keep me on my feet? All of that type of stuff. You kind of have to I think that's where younger people think about those type of things. I mean, I don't know. I'd be thinking about that. So hopefully other people.
It's really cool to hear that, because I know what I'm thinking about at 36, 35. So it's it's really interesting to hear that you're 18 and that you have that high level of stress about it already. Because I feel like most 18-year-olds are just kind of enjoying themselves, partying, they're going to school, they're doing this, but for you to even have the two different careers and hey, I love this, but this is the more practical. I feel like a lot of 18-year-olds aren't even there mentally yet. So I think that's really cool.
Thank you. I appreciate that, because I think I forget a lot of the time to take a step back and realize how much bigger the world is than it is in my head, you know what I mean? But I feel like I've always just kind of, especially just the house and the home that we come from, I feel like, and you might be able to relate on this, but I feel like that also just kind of influenced, I want to make sure that I'm independent. I want to make sure that I can provide for myself. I don't gotta rely on no man.
I hate that for me, though. I really hate it, because I genuinely want to have this Cinderella story. No, I don't want to be Cinderella. Yes, well, in a way. So I don't want to be cooking, clean, and doing all that. But it's I would really love nothing more than to marry a man that I really love and care for, and not have it be based on survival. I really want to find someone that I love, that we can grow with, and that I can just run off into the sunset with. But I think that sometimes we've had instances, and not only personally, but visually, we've seen a certain thing occur. And I think we feel as though we need to be that way. But when you meet the right person, you will soften, for sure. But in regards to what you were saying earlier about stability and passion, so you're transitioning out of high school and you're boom, 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 this is what I want to do, and I think that's so great. But also, I have a feeling that at a certain point you may kind of lean backward and kind of fall into the animal in some capacity, just because I find that when you step away from something that you love, you kind of always tend to dip your toe in it, or just completely fall back on it. I know for me personally, I thought I was going to be a singer-songwriter. I thought I was going to play basketball. Those were the two things that were on my radar. When those things fell through and didn't happen, I fell into doing makeup. So I worked at Sephora, worked for MAC, I did freelance. I did makeup on set, special effects, things like that. And I just fell in love with it. And it's something I never thought I would love. I was never into it. And at 24, I got pregnant with my son. And I had to be practical. So everyone was telling me to work at a school, be a secretary, do this and do that. And although it would have given me stability and it would have given me a stable paycheck, I just didn't feel good getting up every day going to work. It felt like a task. And I went to dental school. I did that whole thing. I worked in oral surgery for 3 years, but I wasn't fulfilled. I wasn't happy. I just felt like I was going through the motions. So eventually, I believe that was in 2017, I did walk away from dentistry completely, and I decided to fall back on my aesthetics license. And for 9 years to date, I have solely been owning my own business. And my stepfather, I had a conversation with him because he lived the American dream. He has a nice house, he has property, he's retired early, he lives the American dream, right? So I was like, what do you think I should do? And I want to do eyebrows and stuff. And he laughed and he was like, you need to get a job with a pension, because what you're talking about doesn't make sense. But he said, I had dreams too. I wanted to own an art gallery. And when I looked around, I'd lived with them, but I looked around the house, and in every corner, every wall is filled with art. And it made me realize, like, wow, you're living in your dream.
Yeah.
And, sure, you lived a great life, but, there's always going to be that what if factor for you. And I never want that to happen to me. So as long as I'm willing and able and healthy, I'm going to do everything that I want to set out to do. I'm at least going to try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that about you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
I value that.
Also, what are your thoughts on college versus no college or trade paths? So I talked about how I actually did a trade. I went for aesthetics, and then I went for dentistry. But I went through a third party. So I didn't go to school and take classes to become a dentist. I was training to be a dental assistant. So I guess it can be considered like a trade.
Yeah.
I think it's great to have the licenses to fall back on.
Yeah.
But what do you think about college and degrees versus not doing that versus trade school?
Yeah. So I feel like it all genuinely does depend on what you want to do. And for real estate, you don't need college. You don't need an associate's or anything. You can just do the online course, and then you'll get your license that way, and then you're ready to sell, buy, whatever. Get yourself into a company, all that. And then, so yeah, I feel like if people are able to make a living without college, with college, in the trade paths, if that is what makes you happy, I feel like you should do it. But I don't like the stigma around, you have to go to college, you have to do this, you have to go to 4 years, you have to, and especially nowadays with it being so expensive.
Ridiculous.
Nobody.
Crazy. You're in debt forever.
And I feel like the rates of people that have been going into communities have been rising.
Yeah.
Just for that reason of the price. It's insane. And even if you do, get a grant or scholarships and whatnot, I feel like it's never enough.
Yeah.
To really, unless you have a full ride. Even then. Yeah. It can still be pretty expensive. At that young age, right?
No, for sure. I mean, any age, it's ridiculous. But also the way that they get you is by getting you to take out these loans and do all this stuff to kind of get you locked in. I personally believe that college can be very beneficial. I think that a trade can be very beneficial. I wouldn't say no college could be very beneficial. I do, however, believe that you can not go to college and still be very successful in your own way. Like for me, for example, this is my first semester, and I've made more money than people that I know that have degrees. You know what I'm saying? So that really doesn't matter. I feel like I have a lot of experience, customer service experience. I speak well. There are a lot of things that I've gained in the field just from interacting with people and working that someone with a degree would never have right out of college. So I think that it's really just dependent on how eager you are to get in there and kind of get ahead and what your overall goal is. Yeah.
I agree with that. I do see the no college because you do speak really well, and I do value about yourself, and I kind of look up to you in that way. So I'm kind of glad that I'm still trying to get my associates at the bare minimum because again, you can fall back on that. If the real estate doesn't work, I can still grow from the associates.
And girl, you're only 18. I mean, if you get that now, you can do so many different things. You can reinvent yourself however many times you want. Just because you're doing that doesn't mean that's the end all say all. It's just the beginning. Yeah. And then it's something else to have under your belt, something else to fall back on. I think it's really nice to dabble. Yeah. And get yourself out there. All right, so now that we have discussed choosing a career path in a world full of pressures, we are going to go into our second segment where we're going to discuss the fear of what if I choose wrong, which is, terrifying, right? Yeah. It's like when you go into picking something to do for a living, I think that can be scary on its own, because I find that at your age, I had no idea what I was good at.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea what contributions I could make to any corporation, society. Like,
Right.
I'm just kind of here. But also, I knew what I enjoyed doing, but I was unsure as to, okay, if I want to go to college, what do I like? What is what I like to do? How can I pick that?
How does that transfer over? Yeah.
Yeah, how can I pick that? So I think that can be very confusing, but also, what if I pick wrong? Meaning, what if I go to school and I pay all this money and I'm doing it and I hate it?
Yeah.
Or what if I'm halfway through and I'm like, I can't do, like, so I think for a lot of people, there are all these different fears associated with picking wrong. But I think that me being 35, it's like you never pick wrong. It's like you pick that because that's the season that you were in, and things change
And
over
it helps
time.
you figure out more about yourself when you are in that, I feel like everything, can happen for a reason, and it will all kind of fall into place.
It does. It totally does. But I think that when you're, younger, fresh out of high school, you don't see the broader photo of like what your reality is actually going to look like.
Yeah.
I do feel like kids today are under a lot more pressure. Prices are higher. Expectations are higher. I just think that everything has just been positioned so differently.
Mm-hmm.
Like, example, back when I was 19, I worked at an elementary school as a noon supervisor, and I thought it was a great job.
Yeah.
I had a aunt who would come pick up her kid, and her mother came once, and she said, oh yeah, she lives right around the corner, and we just got to chatting. Her apartment was $500. Where?
Where can we get that?
Never at
Where
all.
can we get
Like,
that deal?
when she said I was like, what do you mean $500? Like, I had to just double check.
Like, doll, like.
That's it. Yeah. And I was just, well, they're in Berkeley, so it's rent control, but it's like, man, I am just 2017. I'm living in the same community, but I've left and come back, right? Mm-hmm. It was $1,675 for a 1-bedroom. Very spacious, very nice. That's reasonable. The same 1-bedroom is $2,300. Maybe some upgrades. And you're expecting kids to come out of school and be able to afford these things.
Right.
It's like we have to work extremely harder. And I don't think that our parents understand that, because they didn't have to live with those expenses.
Yeah.
Groceries, gas. I just feel like the pressure on you guys, I mean, me too, but mainly you guys, is really, really tough, especially if there's no foundation at home. It's like, what do you do? How do you pivot if you can't live with your parents?
Yeah.
Or, things like that. What do you do? So I think that's really hard.
And I think that's why a lot of kids also have been more kids have been staying home, because it gets so expensive. Mm-hmm. And it gets so, like, I'm not going to be able to be on my feet if I just go out there from fresh out of high school. Yeah. How are you balancing school with your business and your family at home? How do you balance it all?
Well, I am a single mom. I have a son. His name is Tatum. He's 11. And I find that right now it's not as stressful as it was when he was a newborn or like a smaller baby.
Yeah.
Now, if I need to like run an errand, he can, sit at home and he's okay. He'll be alive when I get back. You know, but like, I think when he was younger, not having the support, not having the help, not having anywhere I could drop him off at while I, needed to go do stuff. It was very difficult to try to work and do all of that. Right. Very difficult to try to co-parent. It was a struggle. I think now, especially being more heavily rooted in my faith, I just always pray, and I just always really firmly believe that no matter what I'm dealing with, no matter how bad things get, that God will work me out of whatever I'm in, as long as I'm being true to Him and walking with Him and believing in Him. So I think my posture is different, but my circumstances haven't necessarily changed. I'm still struggling. I'm still financially there, but saving right now just doesn't feel very realistic. And I think that I understand how it was for my mother. She was never really around, not because she was a bad mother, but because she worked a lot. And, you know, being a single mother of two, she had to work even harder, you know. Whereas I'm, you know, I have 50-50 timeshare with his dad, so I do have free time and things like that. So I think it is pretty difficult trying to manage clients, now school, on top of being a mom and work. But I think that I'm just in a place where I just trust that it'll all flow. And it does. It's not as stressful.
There's more confidence with you to carry yourself and have that comfort.
I just give it to him. Please, thank you. And I just kind of go with it. But yeah, it's been great. Things are growing. My clientele is growing. Very happy to be back.
Good.
So it's wedding season. So I'm excited about that. Get some brides in. And, you know, we'll just see where it takes us.
I know your work is beautiful. I see it on your Instagram.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's awesome.
I appreciate you. I wanted to ask you, now, when it comes to comparing yourself to people who seem ahead, do you find that that's a thing for you? Or do you kind of just feel like, hey, I'm in my own lane. I know what it is I'm trying to do. I'm not really bothered by that? Or do you find that sometimes you open up your phone and you're like, oh, somebody just bought a house, or like, you know, or someone just moved into a new apartment and you feel like, oh, I'm still here at my mom's house, or you know what I mean?
I feel like most of the people that I compare myself to are at a 4-year. So it's like seeing what they get to experience. But then that's where I'm like, okay, if I would rather, I think all of my anxiety kind of shifts towards, I want to make sure I have enough money. I want to make sure that I am in a, you know, good financial spot where I'm living all that. So I'm not really focused heavily on the college experience, all the frats, all the parties, all of the get-togethers, just all of that. I feel like I am so focused. My anxiety is so focused on me being successful enough. But it's like I do compare myself sometimes to the people that, you know, are getting these degrees, and I do kind of compare myself to. For sure. I do.
Like, you don't even have to say it. Like, I feel you. Like, so all of my girlfriends, no, not all of them, but you know, a lot of my friends did go off to school, and you know, I didn't. I wanted to go to a JC. I didn't feel like I was ready for a 4-year, but also no one was talking to me about SATs or testing or schools. There was really no one who kind of showed me what to do, how to study, anything like that. So for me, I just kind of, it fell by the wayside. But I did struggle for many years. I would say throughout my entire 20s. I hated going on my timeline and seeing graduations and tassels, and it was really hard to see because I felt like I had missed out. But I think that time, right? Time shows you that your path is your path. And also what you see doesn't always reveal like what's actually happening. A lot of the people that I do know that went to college, they don't use their degrees. They can't find a job because they don't have the experience. They didn't really have great college experiences. Like, sure, the parties were fun, but overall, like, the workload, your instructor doesn't know you. You don't really feel connected to the school in any way. You're in debt. So when I talk to them, I really get another perspective, and it just goes to show that all that glitters isn't gold. And I'm in school currently for nursing. That's my major. And I was like, oh, I want to go to a 4-year. I want to walk across the stage. I want to transfer, do that whole thing. And I talked to so many registered nurses who were like, girl, just stay at the JC. You save more money. You guys, like me getting my ASN, I can still make as much money as someone who has a BSN depending on where I am, or overall. Like, I have a lot of experience in the medical field already, working in dental. With insurance billing, actually on site, the sterilization, like I have a lot of experience there. So I can make a good amount of money as an entry level ASN. Whereas someone who just got their BSN, they've never, all they did was their clinicals. So they don't really have as much experience.
That hands-on, yeah.
Yeah. So.
I see that.
Yeah. So
do you think your definition of success has definitely changed since your 20s by far?
Yeah. I think I'm still very guilty in terms of like, I want the house, I want the husband, I want, I want to travel, I want property. I think for me, when I was younger, success meant a degree. It meant you were just extremely smart. You wore a two-piece suit to work and heels, and like it gave an aesthetic. Mm-hmm. Whereas now, success means to me something way different. It's really about integrity. It's really about, are you doing what you love? Do you enjoy getting up every day?
Yeah.
I would hate to look good, but on the inside, just feel like I hated myself in my life.
Yeah.
Versus every morning I have the opportunity to do something that I love to do.
I love that. And that's so much internal work that you have to do, for your, just peace of mind, all of that.
Yeah. It takes time to know the difference. And I think that social media really doesn't help because it gives us the aesthetic view of success and not like who you really are, what you really like, what you're really drawn to, what you would choose.
Yeah.
So I think that was a really good question.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I did want to ask you too, in terms of fear or the anxiety, would you say that there is any fear of instability? Like, let's say 5 years from now, like, do you feel like are there any reservations in terms of, okay, if I go into real estate, like, what if this doesn't, like, are you pretty set? Like, I feel confident, like, if I do this, and this, I'll be fine. Or like, what are your fears or anxieties for the future in general in the workforce?
I think definitely for real estate, it can be tricky because it's not like you are constantly getting this paycheck. If you sell that house, you better sell that house. Like, if you're going to sell it, you better sell it, girl.
Yeah.
Because that's your income. So thinking about, and on my own time as well, like thinking about what can I do on the side to keep continuing to be stable. Because I don't want that instability. And especially, it's the market, right? Like, it's not really up to, it is up to me if I sell the house, but it's also like, what if nobody wants the house?
Yeah.
What if nobody wants the house?
What if no one wants to buy?
Right? So just little stuff like that, I think, is always like in my mind. I've been connecting with different real estate companies.
Okay.
I recently, on Sunday, I went to an open house and I
Did
shadowed. You? It was really, really cool.
You didn't tell me this.
It was a great experience.
Yeah.
I loved it so much. And just kind of interacting with the people and seeing, like...
Did you get dressed?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I was like in my little slacks and like
blouse
little,
on.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was cute. It was up in Rockland.
Oh yeah.
So it was on a country club course for the golf course.
Uh-huh.
Oh girl, I was living the dream.
Yeah.
And she's so nice. Her name is Susie. She's awesome. She's very willing to help me and kind of just like be like, hey, if you are interested, here's an opportunity. And she's very easy to talk to, very open, and so I love that. And so I hopefully will do more and see how
please take advantage of that. One thing that I'll say as someone being older is that where you are right now in your life, you may feel, and this is what I think is a huge issue, we feel alone.
Yes.
We feel like, okay, this is something I'm doing. No one in my family has ever done it. No one can help me. I don't know anyone who does this. When you find someone who genuinely wants to mentor you and take you under their wing and help you, pour into those people.
Yeah.
And allow them to pour into you.
Right.
Show up, be professional, be attentive, help out where you can, because those people are gems and they will completely change the trajectory of your life.
Yes.
They're very rare. And you know, it's one of those things where mentorship is so important, but I think it's so overlooked. People don't want to work together. They don't want to kind of give the secret sauce.
Yeah.
But when you have someone who's willing and open to showing you the ropes, take advantage, because that'll help you get further in your career, and just get what you need from it. Because by you doing that, what if you get in? I'm not saying this is going to happen, but by having that opportunity, you have a window in, so you can see if you even like it or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I really valued about her, because she's a family friend as well, so she's very open about it. But yeah, so I'm glad I'm being able to have this opportunity.
Yeah.
And putting my foot in the door and seeing, okay,
yeah,
is this something that I truly like? Because if it's not, that's okay, and I can just go back to the drawing board.
I think it'll make you like it more. Like, especially having a mentor.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll make you like it more.
And she has such good energy, so that whole time I loved it, and how, you know, she's interacting with her clients and all of that, and how she keeps that connection between them.
Yeah.
I think I valued that a lot in seeing the stuff that she does.
I love that.
It was cool.
I want to end this segment just with some statistics. In 2025, 54% of U.S. workers said job insecurity is a major source of stress for them. I mean, I would imagine the numbers would be more. In March 21st of 2025, this was produced by the American Psychological Association. Also, 73% of job seekers say that their jobs don't really feel secure anymore. That's a lot.
That is a lot. That's a lot. Yeah.
Like, imagine being on your job and you just have no idea what's going to happen next. That's really scary.
Yeah.
And on top of that, 74% of Gen Z and 67% of millennials worry about their ability to find a job if they needed one.
And that is way more than half.
Yeah. So I think that that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And I think it just goes to show that a lot of people are worried and scared about where they stand, even if they do have a job.
Yeah.
Next, we are going to go into our final segment, segment 3, where we are going to discuss redefining success and trusting the process. So we are going to be shifting the perspective. So success is not a one-size-fits-all sort of thing. Like we talked about earlier, you have some people who have seen success with a trade, with going to college, and even no college.
Yeah.
I don't think that success necessarily has a timeline. I think that you can start slow and later fall into it. I think some people can get success earlier on and maybe kind of trickle away. It really just depends. I also think that pivoting careers is normal. Some people don't like to do that, or they feel like a failure if they have to do that. But take me, for example. I've done a lot of I'm actually going to name a couple of things that I've done. I've worked for the Berkeley Unified School District with kids. I was like an IA for kids that had special needs. My first job was Cold Stone, working with ice cream. Loved it. I worked at Wingstop. Loved it.
Yeah.
I also went on to, let's see, what else did I do? Oh, I was a bottle girl back in my younger days. I was a bartender.
Okay.
And then I went to dental school. I did makeup. I was an esthetician, working the front. I mean, so I've done all these different things.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah.
And you know, they don't all correlate, but a lot of them really helped me just get the experience working with people, interacting with people, problem solving, just overall having those uncomfortable conversations with people. Because I think in all of these industries, people can get upset. You have to figure out how to talk to the customers, talk to the clients, how to serve them, how to treat them.
Yeah.
So I think overall pivoting is crucial. I don't think you should necessarily be tied down to one specific thing. I think you can even pick a niche and kind of umbrella out. But I'm really happy with all the different things that I've done.
Yeah.
But I think now I want to be settled. So with the nursing, I would really like for that to be it.
Yeah.
But I really do like the beauty industry. So I would really go wherever within the beauty industry.
Yeah. I think that's cool that you were able to experience all of those different things, and it kind of, not that it makes you who you are, but it adds to your well-being and kind of just the way that we think, if that makes sense. Like, just perspectives on anything. And I think that's interesting, and it's awesome that you were able to kind of do all that.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what your paths are gonna be
Right?
like. I mean, with the real estate, you can very much start that and be gone and like do it.
Mm-hmm.
But you can also get into staging, like staging the homes. You could get into like lending, so learning about the banking aspect.
Right.
Like there's so many different avenues that you can take.
Mm-hmm.
But I love that you're able to have a foot in and work with someone who can show you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
So I'm really excited for you.
Thank you.
For you, what does success actually mean to you right now as someone fresh out of high school?
Right now, I could relate to what you were saying, how when you thought of success when you were younger, looking good, feeling good.
Yeah.
I feel like that's also like one of the things, like, you know, when you think about like success and then you know, they're all put together and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like a little bit of that I feel like is in my head when I think about success. I think about like, okay, you look good, you feel good, all of that. But also, I don't know, I feel like success obviously in my mind means you make a lot of money, you're able to have a stable family, and that way too, not even just work, being succful in the workforce, but just how to have a successful life in general. Like, what are you doing to make you feel inside mentally that you are successing the full potential that you can in your mind? And I don't know if that makes sense, but I think what I want in life the most is to not have all this anxiety about anything. Anything.
Yeah, can we just remove it?
Like, I just want it all away. So I think every time I think about anything, she's always there. My anxiety, it's always there.
I recently, me and one of my clients started hanging out. She's 51. Her name is Eliane. She's from France. And she is the coolest person. Never would have thought her and I would be hanging out, but she's so fun, and she doesn't give 51 like at all. So we actually have been going to church together and stuff like that, and I picked her up one day so we could go to church, and I was like, I had to do this and then class and then this, and she was like, wow, you do a lot and I admire that. And so what she was explaining to me was in France it's more laid back. The women and the men aren't working themselves crazy. Cost of living can be high, especially in like the main cities and stuff like that. But she was just like, the women out here, they work really hard. And I kind of explained to her why we feel like we have to. We've had that conversation, but I just told her like, hey, we got to make sure that we're good, because you never know what may happen.
Exactly.
But I think that also too, the women are just like, hey, I want to feel fulfilled. Like, I really want to enjoy my life. I want to be connected to someone. I want to be married, and I want that. But I also have to do something that I enjoy as well, so that when me and my partner come home at night, we got something to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just, oh, let me be Cinderella, babe. It's like, no, like, let's both do stuff and come together. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Also, being from a woman who's older than me, and just kind of hearing her standpoint on how things are in another country.
That is really interesting.
She was just like, everything is so fast here. And I agree. I do feel very chaotic. Not as much, again, because I'm more into my faith, but I do feel like your mind is constantly going. You're forgetting things. Oh, like today, I'm like, oh my God, we got to film today. Like, my mind is just everywhere with dates, activities, things to do, my co-parenting schedule, like appointments.
It's like, why should I be feeling all of this just to feel a little bit of success later on in my life?
You know what I realized? When I moved to Memphis in 2024, and I moved back in November of last year, and I came back and really didn't have anything. The move back was very abrupt. And I remember being in my apartment, and there's nothing in there. I'm on an air mattress, and I'm just sad, and I'm crying, and I'm like, I don't have anything, and I should have never left. And I was just so hard on myself, right? And it got to a point where I was just so grateful to have somewhere to sleep. It could always be worse, right? Like, we complain about not having the newest tablet or phone, or we complain about so many things that are elective, when there's people out here that just are so happy and satisfied with the bare minimum.
Yeah.
And I think this year I've learned to be satisfied with the bare minimum. Whereas traditionally I want to like go get my nails done and do this and have wine and
Feel
go to
bougie.
Napa.
Yeah.
I want to be bougie.
Yeah.
I want to be bougie. I want to travel. I want to be bougie. And people make fun of me, but I'm very low maintenance, meaning I don't need a Gucci bag. Like, there's a lot of things I don't care for.
Yeah.
But like in my apartment, I want it to be bougie.
Yeah.
I want wine glasses. I want decor. Like, I want it to give an experience.
That's your living space.
Yeah. So I had to humble myself, and I had to say, like, Allie, like, you have everything that you need. And I found happiness in that. But again, it takes something different to even get to that place. A lot of people struggle with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it definitely humbled me this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, I want a bigger TV.
Yeah.
I want a couch, you know? And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we're just going to be on this hard faux leather.
We just gonna be on here for a little bit.
Yeah, we just going to figure it out, you know? And that's totally fine.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask this too. Do you think people are starting to move away from traditional definitions of success?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I feel like, not to bring social media into this again, but
You
I feel
have
like
to.
I
This
feel-
question.
I feel like people have, the more people share experiences of their own life onto social media, I feel like that influences so many other people.
I think that I'm gonna go out here on a whole thing, but like OnlyFans. You have all these apps like School where people can create a school and make money. The Stand Store, just being on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You have so many places where people can make money just doing nothing. People are getting paid to eat food on camera.
Online, yeah.
Yeah, with sound effects, like making it extra loud. I don't know what it's called.
Send me the roses.
Yeah.
Send me the roses.
Yeah,
y'all.
yeah. People are doing dating shows on TikTok,
Yes.
getting it in, making it back.
Yes.
So it's like,
That's
I
crazy.
think it's very different in terms of what success is now and what
Yeah.
it looks like and how you can be successful. But I think for me, my integrity is more important.
Yeah.
So I want to be successful, but it's never going to give OnlyFans.
Yeah.
It's never going to give...
TikTok Live.
I mean, I'm not knocking it, but I can't be on TikTok. Yeah, you guys, more flowers, roses,
Send me
like.
Yeah.
Like, I actually want to do something that I really love and feel fulfilled doing.
Yeah.
But in terms of like traditional success, I think when we think about our parents, maybe picking up a trade, you know, like being an electrician. I honestly feel like those things will never go out of style, or like it'll never not be a thing. Being a carpenter, a mechanic, being able to work with your hands, I think is something that'll always be needed. But I also think that the more traditional roles, maybe like being a police officer or a lawyer, you know, things like that, I think those things, like, people are just burnt out. They're like, I don't want to do that. I want to simplify my life. So that's why I think people are going more non-traditional.
Yeah.
Because if I can, I mean, we're doing this podcast, right? There are people that make so much money doing podcasts. And if they're like, hey, so this is our sponsor here, this camera, Bell and Howell. I just want to shout this out. Boom, you got 10,000 from them just for shouting them out. So it's like, there are ways to make money and be successful and still have your integrity.
Yeah.
And implement the things that you like. Like, let's say you really got into animals and stuff like that. You could do a podcast where you're interviewing different people. Like, you know, that Tarzan guy that goes around on Instagram and like plays with animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, get your animals on here.
Like, you can do whatever you
come on,
want.
let's go. Let's hold all the animals.
The world is literally limitless.
And I feel like a lot of people forget about that, and I feel like that's where I feel maybe real estate won't be my thing. I'll find something later on, and I'll be like, I really like this, and I didn't know that this even existed. Because there's so many things that I don't know that exist.
Every day. Yeah. And that's the beauty of evolving. A lot of these people that you see that are successful, like Vera Wang, the woman who makes dresses and stuff, she got big, I think, like in her 40s, 50s. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
You
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. And if I could say anything to the younger generation, give yourself time, trust the process. Where you're at now is not your true destination.
Right.
Things change. That's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Every experience is a learning opportunity. You know, I hear people say all the time in terms of relationships, like, oh, I want my time back and I wasted my time. No, you didn't. You needed that.
Yeah.
Like, even the terrible parts. You needed to get fired. I had a girlfriend, she was working at an office. She hated it. I forgot what she was doing. I think she was doing medical. She was working with this guy. She has a degree to essentially work with like artists and artist development and things like that, right? She started working with this guy, and he's a big party promoter in San Francisco. He does event planning and stuff like that. So she started working with him. She loved it, right? I called her one day. She's crying. She got let go from her job. And I was just telling her, everything's going to be fine. It's okay. And I think she's 10 years younger than me. So she, was crying, really heartbroken.
Yeah.
And, now she's still working for the guy. She was very afraid to, but I said, hey, he has you doing all this stuff. Ask for an increase in pay.
Yeah.
Like, for sure. She got an increase in pay. So you never know.
Yeah.
And now she's so happy doing what she wants to do. And she does lashes on the side. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. So I really encourage you guys to try it. Write it down on paper. Make it a reality.
Yeah.
If there's something that you want to do, use chat. Hey, chat, I want to be a marine biologist. What do I do? Or how can I do this outside of going to school? I mean, the possibilities are endless.
I love that. I love that perspective. I think I needed that. Thank you.
You absolutely did. All right, you guys, we had a really good time talking about these different topics today, and I really want to thank you guys for joining us for our 3rd episode. Please stay tuned for future episodes, and we will see you on the next one. Thank you, guys.
The EOPS program helps academically and economically disadvantaged students. We provide book vouchers and grants, counseling, special transfer and career services. EOPS has been a program in the California Community College system for 50 years as of 2019. Solano Community College is one of the most diverse community colleges in the nation. So if you're interested in the EOPS program, please stop by and fill out an application.
The EOPS, they help with counseling, like setting your classes and stuff up, registration, a couple of grants, books, even college tours and field trips.
It gave me a plan and let me know what I need to do to graduate as soon as possible. Also the books, I can't really afford the books. You take a lot of classes, and the books definitely helped me out. They give you a voucher, you basically get books worth for $400, and that's a lot of money to be able to spend just on books.
They help me financially. They have a lending library that lends us books and laptops and calculators as well.
We invite you to apply to our program. We provide the guidance and the academic supplies for you to be successful. When the time is ready for your graduation, we will be providing supplies for that. We know that higher education can change lives.